nigga like me. You know he nothing like me, baby. What you stand for? What you stand for? She want a nigga like me. That sucker shit he be on, you ain't gotta stand for. That you notice me, but you ain't know where you supposed to be. Yeah, drop the limit, come and roll with me so you can see what it's like to be riding close to me. So these hoes could be throwing shade at you, cause you killed them from head to toe. Indeed, let's go to the streets, since you ain't been around to east. Your man had you on the leash, out of sight for someone like me. That's fly as can be, the cheese that he keep got his pockets deep. Like when Tolo speaks on the beat, now you see why they won't say no to see. So to speak, I'm the coldest, she wanna work with me. She in the pursuit like nails, trying to get a hold of me. Cause you let her in your hands, and now she stole it. Yes, you played yourself, now this is the end like the set. Broken bitch, she been want a nigga like me. Yeah, she want all parts, she got cash all in the walls like Marty from Mozart. From the start, I've been getting them, and that's a known fact. I told you that you bring her around, she won't be coming back, it's over scrap. Cause she want a nigga like me. But she say she got a man though. She want a nigga like me. I'm here for one night, so what's the plan though? She want a nigga like me. You know he nothing like me, baby. What you stand for? She want a nigga like me. That sucker shit he be on, you ain't gotta stand for.
Steady long, steady wrong. Everything you told your homegirl you want, I'm already on. You should come and join me in my sucker-free society. We can keep this hitting like it's written in your diary. Proper punctuation, written in permanent ink. Come to this gym like I'm serving a drink and tell me what's next. When you ready for it all, I'm a prime suspect. Guilty for being a real nigga. Yeah, I ride out. Last night, the night before, I was rocking Michael Kors. Different from the time I had on polo at the Nike store. You was buying running shoes to match with your new jogging suit. You tried on 3 different ones. I said that they all was cute. Meanwhile, your man was stressing out. He kept on calling through. I can't show no sympathy. He pissed because you here with me. Even though we doing wrong, I feel like it was meant to be. She want a nigga like me. Yeah, I feel like this meant to be.
She want a nigga like me.
Hey, tap in, this shit bang.
She got a man though. She want a nigga like me. I'm here for one night, so what's the plan though? She want a nigga like me. You know he nothing like me, baby. What you stand for? She want a nigga like me. That sucker shit he be on, you ain't gotta stand for.
Prime suspects and Ed Genesis collaboration.
What y'all know about that PS Edge in? Shout out my brother Cold Cash.
Hey, that is flash shit on their heads right there, boy.
Yeah,
It was pimp on the track.
man.
All right. Hey, it's episode 23, Smoke Session with Squirrel. And this your boy Squirrel. And we got a special guest host today with me today. Who we got as a special guest host today?
So I am your hometown homeboy, your project player. PWK is in the building.
Patwood King, for y'all that don't know. And who do we got in the building today with us?
Man, salute to the real. You already know what the rest can get. The grind, don't stop, move accordingly. I am Ed Genesis, and I'm honored to be here. You already know what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Brought my son with me, P-Way Bub. You know what I'm saying? So we riding out together. You know,
That's
like
what's
that.
up. So we're going to get right into it, man.
Let's go.
What, as a rap artist, what got you started to rap? What got you going?
Oh man, I love this story. The message. You know what I'm saying? I'm an OG. Y'all can see by the grades. You know, I've been doing it for quite some time. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five made a song called The Message. I used to watch Soul Train, and hip hop became something new, to where they was like, we gonna play something from this new genre that we got called hip hop, and I had already heard the song, but to see it on Soul Train, it meant something. And I heard broken glass everywhere. People pissing on the stairs, you know, they just don't care. And it looked so much like, I was born and raised in Gary, Indiana. And I was so young at the time to where I thought the whole world was Gary, Indiana. I didn't know it was different places. I thought New York was just a different side of town in Gary. You know, I didn't know, you know, young.
Yeah.
So to me, they was describing where I was at. And I told my sister, I said, I can do that. And she was like, you can't do that. Shit, the rest is history. You know what I'm saying? I tried it. I felt like I can do it. So that's what got me into it because,
Grandmaster Flash.
well, the message, the actual
song,
the
the
actual song of them describing that type of
Environment.
shit looked like, and we cussing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we smoking weed.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. All right, yeah. So that type of the message through the song was like, wow. It felt like they was talking directly to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what got me into it.
How old were you when you started writing? When you started creating music?
Okay. Great thing. So elementary, you know, by the time I got tapped in, I got an older sister. You know, she was dating this guy, Jesse, and he gave her a mixtape that was full of. First time I heard Eric B. and Rakim, I Ain't No Joke, and Heavy D, Overweight Love in the House, and I mean, I was just blown away. This had everything on there. So I just started crafting different things, maybe about 4th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. A lot of people don't get started that young.
Oh, nah, man, yeah, it's in my blood. yeah.
Now my thing, now, I don't know how many people that ever had the privilege of actually being in the studio and watching Ed, Jen work. Now, where did the transfer come from writing on paper to actually writing in your mind?
I never wrote anything. I didn't think you were supposed to. So shouts out to Prince T. He was the first guy when I moved to Kalamazoo that was like, you supposed to write your lyrics down. And then I still didn't do it because I was like hard-headed by then, like, I don't want to. But so I thought what you were supposed to do was say it the same way I knew a song was to repeat it.
Right.
I thought that's how you were supposed to make a rap up and say it until you knew it and can say it. When everybody went straight out of Compton, or even before that, it was like Run DMC, You Be Illin' or something like that. Like when it came on, everybody, I remember like the 6th grade, we all can sing that line for line. I thought that's how you were supposed to make a rap up. So that's how I've been doing it from day one. I didn't even know that was special. So shouts out to Jack the Mac. Jay-Z was on the front of the Vibe magazine. And Cal, that's Big Bro, he called me and he said, Jay-Z on the front of the Vibe. I said, I got that magazine. And he said, he don't write his raps. And I said, so? Like, I don't write mine either. And he said, man, you don't even know how special you are, because this one I did not. So thank you for that question. Yeah, I never made that transfer. I just always did it how I do it.
So going back, what was the first song that you put together yourself? Or what was the first thing that you did, like actually recorded something?
First time recording. Does this really count? Like if I'm, I guess it do. First time
Even if it was back then when you was recording with holding the buttons down to record on the tape,
Well,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
my homeboys in Gary, they probably remember this. Like I talked them into, we got an area called the High Line. That's a abandoned railroad track. Like the trains, I'm good. Trains they don't go down there. So, and we got a bunch of dead end streets where I'm from called the Valley. And I talked them into going down there. So I say the first song we recorded, 6th grade, Chilling in the House with the remix Illin' in the House. And my homeboy beatboxing, we recorded it. And people was like, you know, y'all got something. The rest of them was not rappers, so they was like, man, we don't do that, man. We did that because of him. But I was King Ed G then. And that was my rap name.
King Ed G?
King Ed G. That was my rap name for a long time. And I still use it sometimes, but that was like the first rap name.
So that was in 6th grade?
Yeah.
So when did it transfer over to the Ed Gym?
Well, that's the history. So moving to Kalamazoo, meeting Cash Brother, Mom. I got a first cousin here, Chris. We like a month apart. Our mother's sisters. He grew up here though. And when I got here, he was like, "Man, can you rap?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, we got a rap group. Got a homeboy named Mom. We got some turntables. I was like, "What? Turntables?" He was like, "Yeah." We went over there and we made BID, Break It Down Posse. That was the group. He was the DJ Money M. Shouts out to my cousin Big Vince Snell. He was DJ 8-Ball. I was King Ed G. We had Smooth C, Money M, Master C, A Swift, A Rock Rhymes. Like we thought we was doing something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was and so that's a whole little thing right there, as far as coming from Gary to Kalamazoo, but Gary different, real different. And Kalamazoo was like culture shock to me at first. But the one thing that I gravitated towards was I got a cousin that's my age that grew up here, and we different. And he said we can rap. So you thinking about rap during this time, I got a high top fade and we wore MC Hammer baggies because this was the thing, and they can dance. I couldn't dance, but I'm like, if this is it, this is it.
Right.
I didn't like it here.
When you say it was a culture shock, was it good or bad?
Bad. I thank you for asking. That was a bad culture shock. It was more white people than I saw in my life here in Kalamazoo.
Coming from Gary, Indiana, I
Coming
bet.
from here, yeah. And nobody asked me about the adjustment. Like, so let me say that. We moved we got family in Kalamazoo, but I was born and raised in Gary. My father was killed by off-duty, dirty police when I was 2. They got away with it, nobody went to jail. I didn't know the story growing up. I'm good right now. I didn't know the story growing up. No, they just told me wrong place, wrong time. But this is the inner city, and I got a single mother raising me. I'm the oldest boy. She got 4 kids. I'm her oldest son. It's only a matter of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, Gary is nothing there now, and it wasn't when I was growing up. No hotels within the inner city, no mall. We had the Village, but that's like, it doesn't constitute as a mall. But it was what we had. I ain't shitting on it or whatever. But anyway, fast forward, I got expelled from school for taking a gun to school. And my mother also battled with substance abuse.
What grade was this?
I got put out of school in Gary in the 11th grade. But I had already moved here in the 9th grade and then moved back to Gary.
Okay.
When I moved back to Gary, I didn't even go to school for my whole sophomore year. I worked. I got a job called Margot's Catering Center. It was dope because it was out there at the pavilion. And yeah, that was a whole nother thing. But that's what I did for my sophomore year. And I thought I would never coming back here. I thought this was my life. Stay under the radar. I ain't selling no dope. I ain't gangbang. I ain't doing nothing wrong with nobody. But then people my age is like, why you ain't in school? That encouraged me to go back. I went back, but it's that time. I'm a junior now. They know where I'm from, but I'm living with my auntie, and Gary has a quote-unquote what they call gang problems, which stem from real organizations that was infiltrated by governments and things like that. Another story. But I took a gun to school, and they didn't find the gun, but enough people said I had it to where I got expelled. And, you know, I grew up in a Christian household. They had a family meeting. I was raised by primarily black women. They had a family meeting. It was like, he gonna be like his father, pretty much. Like, he gonna be dead or he gonna be in prison. You gotta make a decision. So we moved to Kalamazoo in the middle of the night with like 4 or 5 garbage bags of everything we owned. So it wasn't just a culture shock. It was people here had money. This was the crack era where people got triple fat goose, dope game, Nikes, shit cutting their hair because somebody can cut, you know what I'm saying? We moved on the north side. I saw like, whoa. And I hadn't adjusted to that yet. And then, like I said, it was a lot of white people and nobody asked me, well, why y'all pick Kalamazoo? Why you move here? Nobody knew that I only had a few pairs of clothes. And Eddie Anderson, Cookie Head Eddie. We and that's what they call it, you know. So I could say that. First dude I met, standing on the bus top, finna go to Norks. My cousin said, "Hey, it's my cousin Ed from Gary. It's my homeboy Eddie." Eddie looked at me up and down and said, "You gonna let him dress like that and go to school?" I was like, "Damn, well, like, what's wrong with what I got on?" He's like, "Man, they gonna talk about you bad." I had to run home to Woodward and Patterson, run back to Cobb and Elizabeth in enough time, and somewhere within, you gotta think, it's 4 or 5 garbage bags of clothes, and there's 4 of us. I'm gonna have to wear this shit another time. You know what I'm saying? This outfit will make an appearance, but I couldn't start my first day like that. So the Ed Genesis really came from going back to that, was all of that. I'm different than hammer baggies and a high top fade. I would love to live that lifestyle, and if I could dance, I would do it. And the House Party, one of the best movies I think I love. One of the best movies that was made that I love, but that ain't my lifestyle. And
That's what they was doing out there in Indiana.
Hey,
Well,
Rob said, did
no,
you
they
have to
was
be
dancing
able to
here.
dance back then?
Oh, they can dance in there.
He said, did you
but they
have to
had the
dance to
pistol.
be able to rap back then?
You didn't have to know how to dance, but it helped. Yeah, back in the day, this was the R&B where you got 4 people on every. 4 people all doing the same dance steps, man. My cousin Courtney and my cousin Chris, they could do the kick step and jump over their leg. I just used to be able to rap.
Hey, for
and step
anybody
back.
who don't know what he talking about, go watch Kid play. You'll see all that.
Man, they stepped
House
over their
Party.
leg. Man, they had the
House
running
Party.
man, the Tom and Jerry. And the dudes with the funniest haircuts and their shirts and that can dance, them the ones the ladies used to like too. So I used to have to add a little extra. Like, I couldn't dance though. Like, I can't dance to this day.
So when did you begin? So now you moved up here to Kalamazoo. When did you begin to take music seriously? Like when did you start to drop? Like when did you drop your first song? Like
I was in middle school when I heard about you. I wasn't even into rap. Like I ain't even.
That's what's up.
Didn't I was like around the Douglas or shit, like just running around the Douglas, going to the library and stuff, and I heard about this guy.
I don't want to talk. You right back.
We okay, so I immediately started dropping with them. Like we started doing the songs and tapes, going to Vine. Cause when I moved back up here, Norris was like, "We straight on you," so I went to Vine. With Moan again, shouts out Money M. We was recording then because we was meeting people that had the little studios and stuff like that. So I knew what I wanted to do, but then I got locked up. I was still King LG. Being locked up, I just told you this story. That made me. I feel like we all are kings, birthright wise. You know, it's melanin. It's some God. It's God given.
I feel like you gotta tap into it.
But you gotta tap into it. And when I was locked up, and this was, I did 94, 95, locked up with Michigan people who I didn't know like that.
Right.
And we all bonded with one another in a way that made me say, I just shared this story with my son. I just told him I didn't feel, it's not that I'm not a king and that I wasn't robbed of my birthright, but I'm not over my peoples. And I was like, man, I just want something that I identify, that I really, and that's where the Ed Genesis. Genesis is the name of the convention center in Gary, Indiana. Like how it's Wing Stadium here, you got the Genesis Convention Center in Gary. And not only is that like something that we saw all the time that was like, man, everybody famous, go
I
there.
always thought you took it biblically when you was like, yeah, Genesis.
Yeah, a lot of people, especially because I talk about, you know, I got Bible verses, but no, this the name of the Genesis Convention Center. And then I found out when I got older, and y'all can Google this is deep, and you probably know from New Orleans, if a place like the Wing Stadium or convention center like that, if they build something that big, they have to sign a clause with the city that says if there's a major devastation or whatever, this is a place where people can evacuate. This is what the Genesis Center is to Gary. It's not just entertainment, but it's also if anything ever went wrong. And I was like, wow, not just the churches and the things like that. Churches is a place you can meet, but we all supposed to go
there
somewhere like that. And that's what happened with New Orleans. And even though it was a travesty the way it ended, it was supposed to be welcoming. Y'all remember that? I think I went way off somewhere.
No, you good.
Yeah.
We enjoying it. So when you got back, you said you started dropping music immediately.
Yeah. And as far as taking it serious, I ain't take it serious until 2006.
Give me that paper.
Yeah.
Just passing stuff out.
Look, he's shaking his head. Well, no, I even made music. I made music and made money before then.
That was 5th of Jan.
5th of Jan. But people kept saying, I don't think you really know what you got. And I was selling weed. And not just selling weed, I won't incriminate nobody, but I was with people that they can make movies about. And I'm not that person. I just happened to be in the room with these people and was like, is this what we doing? And they taught me the game. I know how to hustle in Gary. I know how to shoot, fight, some other shit. Here in Kalamazoo, this is a hustling ass. This is why the feds be coming through a whole lot. This is a hustling ass city. And I hit the ground and I learned from some brothers that knew what they was doing, and I didn't want to take it serious until, I hate to say it like this, but I'm gonna tell the truth. So, especially so young people can feel, because you don't always get it like this. I was on 3 years felony probation, on my 3rd felony, and I didn't get caught, but KVET was getting nosy enough. And so I did 72 hours. KVET can hold you for 72 hours without nothing. They just can't. And try to make you tell and make you whatever the hell. I'm hoping my PO don't find out, because she can hold me for 72 hours and violate me. She don't find out because I get POs changed. So I get out of jail and they asking questions, and I'm like, man. And I said then to some of the people I just was referenced a minute ago, I don't think I want to do this no more. I'd had a long run. I was like, I got kids. If I go away, it's gonna feel different. I don't want to do this. And Pop, Mr. Mike Jones came into town. I spent that 72 hours locked up, couldn't open up. I was supposed to open up everything. I just made a decision. But all while making this decision, I still got to go to court, because now my PO does know, and you got to come to court to talk about why you had police contact. I had the first time ever cufflinks. Y'all know how it goes. I got the shirt on, the tie. I'm finna prove that I'm somebody. Please don't do this to me. And in the meanwhile, my other ace in the hole was I never took my music serious and really spent money. I spend money to go to the studio. I spend money to go travel, to go do a show. I wasn't even getting paid. We traveling far. Man, they said they want us on there, man. We going, man. We going. We having a ball, too. Everybody got a couple dollars in their pocket. We going to have a ball. Ain't made a dime. But this time, I want to see what it do. And if I go to prison, this is what I wanted to do. So I did a 5th of Gen. That's when I took it serious. That's why he was shaking his head, because he remembered.
So, RNRO, was that before 5th of Gen?
That was, yeah, because we had did Let's Get High and dropped that and had the city, you know, and then we had Thoroughbred Riders and all that. Yeah, so we was already, and then once we all got clicked up with one another, it was like, I bought the same mentality that I know from Gary. If we all together, we should be like one thing, man. And that's RNRO. That was where that came from. Bunch of different cliques.
You.
Thoroughbred was me, Yak, and Ran. And then we had Rugged Fan, which was, shouts out to Big Jock, Josh E. Green, Quincy Hughes, my cousin, New. They also had Tunji, Poncho, and I forget who else was. That might have been them with Rugged Fam. And then you had Dope Prophecies, which was like Fat Cat, Marvis, and Julius. Then you had a couple solo artists. Comatose was down with us then. Shouts out to Comatose. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Comatose, a beast. He was down with us then. And then, you know, a few solo artists like that. So that's where the camp, RNRO, and everybody was like, yeah. But the group, Thoroughbred Riders, was just, but then we end up picking up Q and New later on.
So after a 5th of Gen, you had the Gen Commandments? No. That came
later on. That came later.
So what'd you have after 5th of Gen?
Bunch of mixtapes until, because we could still milk that then.
Yeah.
And the price had just dropped. I want to say this for the young cats. I feel sorry. I love that y'all can get this new money because I'm getting it with y'all, but I feel sorry that y'all missed that out the trunk.
That real CD shit.
And when I dropped the 5th of Gen based off the name and they was in cellophane and barcoded, this was still when I could still get 10. So the first 1,000 CDs I sold, I got $10 for every CD for maybe like, I maybe didn't sell like 20 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like passing out. Other than that, everybody was like, no, I'm giving you money, man. This look good, man. I know what you're doing. They support it. But it ain't like the dope game. You can't sell them same CDs over again. You got to try to do that same thing. And by then, it dropped. And I went to Detroit. I got to say this. Man, them guys in Detroit, man, I went to a T.I. car show. My big cousin Joe. We down there. I got my CD. I got 100 of them. I said, yeah, I'm finna sell these. I'm in Detroit. I can at least make $5 a pop. Everybody in the parking lot next to me got CDs that look like mine, and they just passing them out, and they fresh. I went and sat back in the truck. It was like, I'm finna lose $100.
Real shit, though.
Hey, cause you gotta go. You gotta
adjust.
You gotta adjust. Yeah, y'all. So I took that loss, man. It was worth it too, man. I did some nice networking, man. I keep going off task, man.
No. Hey, you good to go, man.
But I don't remember what was after that because I literally melt a 5th of Gen for a long time because I learned that I had to start traveling with it. So the next serious thing I did
So that was the only way you was pushing is traveling with it and getting.
Yeah,
other
this was
people.
before.
It wasn't none of that
It
shit.
wasn't none of
It
that
was
streaming
groundwork.
and YouTube and none of that. It was videos cost
City to
$1,000
city
plus
to
back
city.
then. It was traveling. But shows was open. Like if they heard your name and then MySpace came and it was like, shoot, that helped a whole lot. The next, I don't even remember the next. That's sad. I should have had this written down so I know
Yeah,
what
you
you was
good.
gonna say.
Well,
What
what was that one? What was that song that you had that you
So-
just knew?
Well, let me say this, because for anybody I don't like to call people fans necessarily, but anybody who support Ed Genesis is probably biting in ears like, hold on, man, you remember what you dropped next? It wasn't professional, but it's a hood classic. What I dropped next was Dropping Dirty, because I was on 3 years felony probation, and I kept dropping dirty, and she said she was going to lock me up. And she didn't. So I dropping filthy, because I kept dropping dirty part 2. This true
That's
story.
good, right.
And this kept me going. I'm talking about, shouts out to DJ Playhouse. He know when he got Club Soda and he doing his thing, my name stayed on there because I kept feeding the people. So I didn't drop another professional necessarily, but I kept feeding the people. Things like Meet Me North. When we did that and we bought out me, Don, shouts out to Don. Man, we bought out, we wrapped over that some Young Jock and bought out, man, everybody on the north side, man. Didn't name different blocks and shot a video, and Miss Polar Bear let us come in and shoot. And no incidents, no fights, nobody got shot.
That from Peoria.
Man, that was just like,
Yeah,
and it was
I remember
things
that.
like that. Even though it wasn't a professional song, it was a mixtape. We did so much that impacted. Yeah, so
Stuck in people's head.
yeah, I learned to keep milking it. Man, this is what
So that's got to be okay. I'm gonna ask the question everybody in the world want to ask
Oh yeah.
now, cause I was told some backlog stories. Let's discuss 106 in Park.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You went straight into it. Didn't get to it.
That's 106 in Park. You know what I'm
Alright.
saying?
Okay.
I was told it was a situation that was just threw into your lap.
No. So here's the 106 story. Great question. Here we go. Of course, y'all know the 106 had the Freestyle Friday. People have for years been telling me, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. It came back around, and at this time, I had learned the professionalism as far as getting money, as far as traveling, as far as doing things like that. So I was like, now I can do this. This would be a good look to be on TV and do this. So we traveled. I went down there and auditioned, and what was so dope is he was there. I went. What's dope to me, it's perspective, I guess, how you look at it. So the way I've always did my whole quote unquote career or doing what I'm doing is real down to earth, real just within my means of what I can do and how I feel. Is a lot of my shit is based off emotions and some other shit. So traveling down there, I went with my family, my wife and my 3 kids. And New York ain't playing. So what I mean by that is I'm supposed to go to a hotel and go back in the morning and stand in line. It was about 1, 2 in the morning. I'm looking, they already out there. Like, it's a few people already out there. So I can't do nothing but go around the corner and tell her, let me sleep for a minute, then I'm gonna go do what I do. Y'all go get straight, whatever, and then I'll meet y'all back in a minute. So I'm number 24 in the line. I'll never forget this. I don't got a chance to get dressed or nothing. I got on how I dress. A V-neck t-shirt, some blue jeans, and some Converse with no laces in them. Let me tell you all this. I love that you asked. Yeah, so here we go. I'm standing in line, and I get in there. There's 3 guys sitting at the table. 2 of them look like they bouncers, heavy set, black dudes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, here we go. You know, I done been in these type of rooms. We flowing for the help. But somebody gonna say, I was like, I don't know who it is in the room, but somebody gonna be able to get a green light to say yay or nay.
Right.
So when I walk in, dude in the middle nudge dude next to him and whisper something and point to me. I don't know what he say yet, but I get to that. I rap, knock out the first dude. They say, do that again, Put him next to, so boom, go against next dude.
This behind the scenes type.
This behind the scenes, yeah, just, you know what I'm saying? So they think it's a fluke the first time, they cracking up laughing. They like, nah, try that again. So they do it again, and they like, wow, okay, one more time. And they switch me up with another dude, and they say, you stand over there on the side. I'm thinking they finna tell us before we leave who got it. You know what I'm saying? Especially because I'm standing on the side, and they say, you, one more time. And shouts out to my man Patterson, New Jersey, Apollo Speed. Me and him went against one another, and they made us do twice. He actually ended up making it too. But they was like, y'all go twice, do that again. So that's it. Everybody have a good one. I'm like, damn, that's it. So we see New York, move around, whatever, come back to Kalamazoo. I want to say this publicly. One of the worst things that I ever could have did was, it felt like when Moses freed his people, and I'm not liking myself to Moses by no means, but I'm saying an example wise, when he had already got his people out of captivity and had took them and showed them so many different miracles along the way, when they got to that water, they still was cussing him out, and they didn't know what they was gonna do. And he hit the staff against the rock, and it made water come out of it, which is called like the Rock of Revelation is what they call that. But that was also a moment where he pissed God off, because he's like, you ain't gotta prove shit to them like that. Like, I got you on a mission for a reason. And you got a little attitude, you hit the rock like you did, okay? So I feel like that when I came back to Kalamazoo, because this was still during the time of selling out of the trunk, selling in front of the stores, and people got word of 106, but it's a month later now. Man, when you going on 106, man, when you going on 106? So every time I go home, I'm telling my wife, call 106. I gotta tell somebody something. I gotta find out. I gotta know.
The buzz was building.
The buzz was building, but I didn't even know if I was going or not.
Okay.
Nobody even confirmed. Did you wait on a phone call? Pat Charles, shouts out to Pat Charles. Y'all can Google him. He the head producer and creator of 106 in Park. He also wrote for Sounds of Anarchy and a whole bunch of other stuff. He was that dude in the middle, which I didn't know. I thought he was a security guard, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know who no producers is behind the scenes. He that dude. He finally get back with us and said, man, y'all was not supposed to blow my phone up in my email like this. Like, how y'all even get to me? He said, man, I'm the guy that was in the middle when you walked in. He said, and the reason why I nudged the dude is because you looked like hip hop when you walked in. He said you had the toothpick, the shoes with no laces, and a few tattoos. He said, I told dude, all he got to do is know how to rap a little bit, and we putting him on TV. I was like, wow. Like, they ain't care about no, I cared about who I'm going against or whatever. So dude told me then, it's a reason why we didn't put you on. You're not battling everybody and going through the things. We saving you to the last part, and you're gonna go against this guy named Kiati.
Okay.
I remember Kiati.
Kiati was on the, y'all remember the Houston Source magazine where they went out to J. Prince Ranch?
Yeah.
If you fold the cover out, Kiati is on the cover with them. Like, Kiati wasn't no, I'm not saying like he nobody, because he wasn't a rapper. They put us both in there to give us a great look. That was it. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was it. Like, man, so getting to the actual boom, now we go back to New York. Actually, we go to Virginia Beach, take the kids down there, then we shoot over there because I got a homeboy in Brooklyn. Shouts out to Delroy, my Jamaican homeboy. And I gotta tell y'all this part. So before getting to the actual battle, I love the opportunity. I thank God for the opportunity, but I'm also gonna say this before walking in. I went with my brother, my wife, my big cuz Joe Snell, Charlie Mack, Joe bought Dirty Red, a few other people. And my homeboy Delroy, he older. When we walked in, y'all ever heard of the paper bag theory? Amongst black people? It's some shit that they used to do back in the day to say if you look like Lena Horne on camera or something like that, you can be on camera. And if you did not, then they wasn't messing with you. They even got people that said, I don't know how true it is, but they say people like Cab Calloway did not like dark-skinned girls coming in the Cotton Club with him because of the backlash that he would get. Right. So the paper bag theory was if you were darker than a paper bag theory, you ain't getting on. When we walked in there, and this is 2000s, this my crew that's finna root for me.
Right.
It's 10 in the morning, 106 ain't bigger than no room, this room right here, and we looking like you got to be kidding me. Wow, it looks so much, okay, this is it. And they got the bleachers right here. They got a place upstairs that they put everybody grown that look like somebody's parent or something like that, because y'all can't be on camera. They got the ageism going on. Get y'all ass up there. But dark-skinned people, bro, they took my cousin and them and put them off camera over there. I said, but they with me. They, nah, y'all sit right here. I'm looking at Patrice. I said, you gotta be. Wow. I was like, wow. So I gotta say that part first. Like, behind the scenes, that was crazy. One of the worst things for a black. It's black entertainment. And these black people doing this. It wasn't white people that was separating us. It's black people. And my rooting squad is not behind me like that. They over there off camera. So that was one thing. But we do what we do, and I missed the curve. I was supposed to say runway. I'll never forget that word as long as I live. As long as I live. We down the we on boom boom. We about to do it, and afterwards, I'll never forget, man. And I looked at Joe and them and I said,
you made it round 1, round 2?
Yeah, we made it all the way to round 2. They had to decide.
Yeah.
But once they decided, they was like,
So
did you use the curve?
People who may not know.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, yeah, my fault. Yeah, made it, yeah, all the way to round 2 to where they had to decide. And they said they had to look and was like, did he just use? So I got the crowd rocking. Like, everybody bobbing. But they was like, did you just use the curve? I was like, no, but I was flowing. That don't matter. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta say this too. I left with my head down as a rapper, and I'm pissed. I'm telling everybody, come on, y'all, let's go. Let's go. Get on this elevator. First one to stop me, my homeboy, the Jamaican Delroy. He stopped me. Hey, and he's like, and dude, want to talk to you, Pat Charles. He said, look. He said, man, I ain't gonna lie, my money was on you, man. He said, my money was on you, but he said, today you lost. Tomorrow you was just on BET, mark my words. I didn't know what that meant at that time. I'm still salty. We go around Brooklyn, we eat, you know, they show us with Jay-Z, with Biggie, you know, man, know all these people from in the area. And then Delroy repeated the story while we at this record store called Basement Mix Records, and they used to have the who's who come through there. And he said, man, guess where he was just at today? They was like, where? I said, Delroy said in the CBS building, 106 in Park. What, man? Who was you, man? Come here, man. Let me talk to you. They don't care win, lose. And then so many things start opening up after that. The fans, so to speak, or the people watching, ate me alive when I got back to Kalamazoo. I ain't gonna lie. Only Kalamazoo though. Like Gary, Love. I went on a little mini tour just for being on 106 after that. But the only place was like Kalamazoo. Was like, why you ain't wearing no shoestrings? Why you ain't wearing no shoestrings? I was like, what? That's all you got?
That's crazy.
Yeah, you know, this is crazy. So that's why I'm glad that you really asked it, because here it's still something. What was that, like not even 2 weeks ago? I just had to tell this nigga, like, I don't even want to say it, but yeah, I'm like, are you kidding me, man? It's about to be 2022. Did you just ask me that? Why you wearing no shoestrings?
15 years ago.
Man, niggas want to know. But that was actually one of the good things that I could have did, is just be original, like how I am. You know?
At least they was looking.
Yeah,
Notice they
definitely.
noticed it.
Yep.
Tell them why you didn't do it, though, for people who don't.
Okay, yeah, for those who don't know, y'all, thank you.
That's okay.
So, as a thoughtful person in rap, converse and converse is the same word. So I feel like I'm never restricted or tongue-tied when I talk. I should feel the same freedom when I walk. So, in only converse, I take the shoestrings out. Everything else is tied up. But in converse, I'm like, yeah, boom. And because everybody was clowning and saying that, I had a ding, ding, ding one day. It was about 30 days after being back, after 106, and getting in arguments with people and stuff like that, and email Converse. And I told them I was on 106, and I told them this is a line from a song that I have. And the marketing people hit me before that night and was like, do you have footage that you really did this with our shoe? And I was like, yeah, the shoe right there. Now, I got them shoes for the next, like a little endorsement, so to speak. I got them the same shoe. It wasn't like my shoe or sitting out. But I got that shoe free for the next 2 years. UPS, just coming straight to here go your Converse. I was drawing on them. I wish we had the thing. If we'd have talked about it, we could have brought that up. Like, is this the shoe you talking about? The infamous Converse that everybody clown. I got a little deal thing out of that. And I learned, because I was on MTV Sucker Free Freestyle before 106 in Park. So that's what I should have said as far as me knowing what this could do. Me getting that freestyle landed on there. You remember Diddy? Yeah, Diddy shot that in the back of his, by the cement factory. And we submitted it, and MTV picked it up. And I mean, man, that worked. Like, people was like, man, did I see you on? That's me. Yeah, put me on the fly. Put me in the game, coach. Yeah.
Let's get into the flip and the hustle and the grind side.
Okay.
Because now we're looking at, and I might be fast forwarded a little too far. Now we're looking at commercials.
Yeah.
City going crazy, you know, your T Awards come on. Oh, and Jig commercial, you know.
Oh, that's great. Now I'm finna give up $1 billion worth of game for free.
Okay.
So watch this right here, because my man blessed me with it. Pat Charles.
See.
So once I got the Converse thing, so let me back up. MTV told me first that because you were a part of the program, you can use the logo for like ever. And I want to say that to any artist. All the artists on Spotify, I tell them all the time. As I'm looking around, get them iHeart sweaters and Spotify's up in here, because y'all legally could do it. You know what I'm saying? Legally could do it. And that's just, why not? They billion-dollar corporations that give us pennies for what we got. So I threw a MTV2 sucker-free mixer. You know what I'm saying? Boom. You show proof of stuff like that and hit them back, man.
What you saying is you can put their logo on it and then ship it to them as a.
So you
Almost like an invoice sometimes.
Yeah,
Sometimes
this
it
is
works,
what I
sometimes
made.
it not.
It's
So
already
you
a
send
show
them-
made for you to put on your channel.
Yeah.
And it got your logos and everything on it.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
we can-
Talk, slide over you right by the mic.
So what I did was Pat. Okay, so I learned that about MTV, and I did it every chance I got. I made up everything. Like boom, I'm using that little dog. They had that little two-headed dog, putting that on everything. I almost got a necklace. Cause I'm like, yeah, this is it. That wasn't it. You know what I'm saying? But and then they started fizzling. But then 106 came, so I'm like, shit, do the same thing. Like, man, I'm using the logo. I'm cropping it. I'm doing whatever I can. And I'm remembering Pat Charles. I was like, and this dude has some rank. Google him, and that's how I found out all of what he was into. So now I'm starting bugging him again. Like, I know you ain't got no record label, nothing like that. I ain't asking for none of that. But come on, man, I was on there. Give me something. So this was his advice. And he said, you want to be, that's the whole point of them doing that platform. He said, they don't care. Because you spend your own dime for going. No matter how many times you win, it come out of your pocket, you going
Right.
back. Ain't no, you might get a sponsorship or something like that. And maybe not. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's on you. And if you can't afford to go, you just default. That's just it. So he said their biggest thing that they wanted to do was just give artists a look. You did that. He was like, so what did you learn from that? Man, a bunch of people was watching, a bunch of people, he was like, so keep doing that. Keep creating that. I was like, I can't do no 106. He was like, man, do a commercial. He said, it's the last time. Like, we not friends, we not cool like that. Don't just be hitting me, but I'm, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell
me something though.
he said, but I'm telling you this though. He was like, if I was you, I would work on getting a commercial like that showcases what you can do. So the first commercial that I got is Whack, and it got played through BET. And I'm glad nobody talk about it really. I'm not in it. It's only pictures. I ain't know what I was doing. I hollered at a cameraman. I ain't gonna say his name because he ain't know what he was doing either. But it's Whack. It's somewhere on YouTube. I saw it not too long ago. I was like, oh, I wish I could take that down, but I ain't the one who put it up. But out of that, I said, so that worked. Now let me tell y'all, like I said, $1 billion worth of game, because that wasn't it. It ain't just getting a commercial. It was, how do I keep doing this? Because BET ain't just gonna throw my commercial in their slot. He only allowed for that off of whatever he did, it was great. And it's not the commercial you talking about. Watch
Right.
this. The one you talking about is because I went and sat down with Charter when they was Charter. We sat in a boardroom, and Anthony Popoli used to work for them at the time. He said, we don't even use this boardroom and have never talked to a musician about what you asked about. So we had to bring everybody out to even see what you're talking about. I said, this is what they doing in New York. They buying commercial space. What do I need to do? And it was like, wow, well, what do you have? And they gave me the outlines and said, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do that. I said, the BET Awards. They showed me the markets. Everywhere where it's a charter, you can get the commercial air. You just gotta pay. Man, this was under $1,000 to get shown from here to LA, spots in Texas, Atlanta seeing it. Like this was one of the greatest things that I could have did off of that one. So that's $1 billion worth of game. Y'all sit down with your peoples and see what you can do as far as you know, and linking up. I had the iHeart, because by then I had learned that.
Right.
So I just landed my own iHeart radio station, so that's in there. And that was a great move because 2 years later, during the iHeart Music Awards, that's on my Instagram, because I didn't have nothing to do with that, and it's on there, and it was like, oh, look. Because you never know, like how you said, if they like it, you know, it don't cost them, man, it cost them pennies.
Yeah, nothing.
Right.
He already made it. He
Yeah,
got the logo on it. and
it
everything.
cost
He
them.
throw
You
it
just
on.
get your publishing. You know what I'm saying? And they ain't paying.
It don't make us nothing.
Yeah,
You say get your what?
your publishing.
Ah.
Yeah, that's what that is. Yeah, get your money.
Yeah, let these young artists know how important it is for publishing and getting your stuff published.
And that's the only way to do it. Or you doing, you know, if you in it for entertainment and you want to be the big kid version of the person that say, hey mama, y'all put the TV on mute, look what I can do. And you cool with the applause and people say, oh, look at my baby can do it. That is nice. And when I'm gonna tell everybody at the family reunion, you gonna do it again. If you cool with that, and what they call dopamines or whatever, it makes you feel good about yourself, then by all means, what I'm saying is not for you. But if you wondering, like, you mean to tell me I can get some money for this? So I'm gonna tell it, shouts out to DX Flex, DX The Flex, Battle Creek, House of Trees, been recording there for years. And I went there one day and I came out the booth. I had a 4-hour session. I just got done my first song. And it's about an hour and some change, like not even 15 minutes afterwards. And I look at the clock, because I'm real, I watch the clock like a mug when I be up in there. I'm trying to get every use of the time. And he said, man, you see my commercial? I said, no. What commercial? He said, my commercial. And he got the TV. Y'all know if you ever been there. So the TV's behind you when you come out the booth. So I turn around. And this is a Dove commercial with Miss Piggy and some geisha women on there. And I'm like, what? I don't get it. And he cut it up. And I'm listening. I said, is that Camille? He was like, yeah. And I made the beat. Yeah, Camille Madison and Flex made the beat. I said, whoa. How you do that? And he said, man, dude, you're publishing. I said, well, what's publishing? He said, ASCAP, BMI, you don't know. No, man, mute that. And I didn't record no more songs that day. Me and him talked about publishing. I had like 3 hours left, and I ain't talking
3 hours of publishing.
You would have
Paid
thought
for a consultation.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah.
He's
Because
paid
I
for the
paid for the
time.
studio time, but I was just intrigued. Like, what do I need to do? How do I do it? And he explained that probably the first
Just gave
15, 20 minutes, but
Just
then we
nuggets.
just kept talking
Yeah.
because he had did some things, and I was like, wow, I'm so impressed. I didn't know you can do that
Shout out
as
to
being
DX too.
underground.
DX,
Yeah, shouts out to
DX got a
DX.
hell of a track record. A lot
Hell of a
people
track
don't know
record.
about
And
him.
he don't
Yeah.
mind sharing the information. That's why I never been the type, even though they say the game is to be sold, not told. And I agree with that to a degree.
That's heavenly when you
We gotta be able to bless one another's because I don't own it, and the music industry is wicked. And if there's any way for especially a young black man to be able to know that, what, I could do this, I'm thankful to say I just got a check yesterday because it was publishing time, and over 14 different TV placements and counting, because I want some more for 2022. But and the two best is Forensics Files and George Lopez, because they syndicated, and that means, because I had to look it up and ask some attorneys or whatever, and pay for the rest of my life just off them two being landed alone.
But you was on them shows?
Huh? My music is placed. My music was placed on those shows, and they syndicated. And syndication is when a show gets picked up and is I forget the technical term, but I can say the layman terms is all of them networks can play. It's like Law and Order, how you can flip through the channels and see Law and Order probably on any channel.
Yeah.
Forensics Files got picked up like that. So Hulu, Netflix, when they got picked up on streaming, that was another check. China, another check. Mexico got it now, another check. And reruns. That's beautiful. And the George Lopez show is like that. So that's, I know I was probably long-winded with that, but I hope that impressed somebody to say, I want something like
That's
that.
big.
Because I didn't, yeah, and I'm still
That's
chasing
big.
because movie money, and let me say this for the independent artists. Here go the dope part that I learned from Flex that I tell to everybody. I told him. So when they make a movie, or you watching Forensics Files or First 48, and you see them car chases, and you hear the rap, and you hear these type of things, and these people are independent because all they have to do is look through ASCAP catalog and go off the title or reference the title to something that's out, listen to it, and they get to pull that because we out there like that. Artists like Jay-Z, Beyonce, DJ Quick, Dr. Dre, Eminem, they have what they call catalogs. You can't even open up their catalog to use nothing, you know what I'm saying, unless you ask. And when you ask, that costs. So it's cheaper for them to come to us all the time, so we get to come in and get all of that. What I'm trying to say is those shows, I'm thankful that my music was placed, but I didn't pick none of that. I don't have a person that says, yeah, put Edge in on there, you got this coming. It don't work like that. You just get a check and be like, where did that check come from? And you do your due diligence and you be like, wow, I made it on Dirk Gently's Holistic, what is that? And on the BBC channel, I never heard of it. So they don't have to ask for permission because our music is, but they have to pay.
BBC, that's
They have to pay.
overseas, but
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, you know what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
boy, they play with the cat.
So what do you think about the rap scene in Kalamazoo right now?
Well, hold on, cause that's a loaded question. Like, what you, in what regard?
The state of it.
Yeah.
State of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it in a good state? Is it a bad state? Is it going up, going down? Is it exploding? Is it declining? People dying out? People buying in?
Okay, so
People
let's.
cashing out?
We just talking. I got a minute.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I think it's at a good state because there's a lot that could be done. But it's been stagnant for a minute. Prior to recording, you was just talking about Club Soda. And I told him, and Pat, what you was saying that you related to a lot of that, even though being younger, but with both of y'all being younger, but still knowing it, there was a music scene, quote unquote, to where if you did some music, within the next 2 weeks, you could perform somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Guaranteed within the city. And make money from it. And pump your CD while you there, or your t-shirt, your merchandising. So one of the things that I've noticed for over 5 years is that don't exist like that. And I'm gonna take some accountability. I've done some mentoring, some grooming, but entrepreneur-wise, I'ma say none of the OGs sat down and said, what do we do to keep this going, not only for ourselves, but for the next generation when this shit dries up. Like a lot of us knew Club Soda was being sold, and it was just like, oh man, we gotta be a part of the last show. And that was it. It wasn't no
Let's figure out what
man
to do to
together
get
buy
that.
this mother.
See
Yeah,
what it's
let's
gonna
everybody go to
take.
breakfast,
Right.
man, and we, you know, and even if we didn't want to be the ones getting on stage no more, just to have the ownership of something down there and be able to, like I said, it's my oldest son, be able to say this is why we did that. So, and that ain't all the way our fault because that's, you know, social determinants of health, mass incarceration,
Yeah, we just
school to
didn't
prison
think you could.
pipeline, a
Just
whole
didn't
bunch of
think
other
you
shit.
could.
Yeah,
I just
because
didn't
they
think-
killed a.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of other shit that come with that, but that's it. The current state is these guys found something when it wasn't nothing to still be heard, and you got to see the tenacity in that to be able to say, wow, where the hell you think of this at to get with this dude, and y'all do this, and you got these many views and this many this, and I watched so many people push through to where I gotta say it's at a good state because you got the hungers there. You got a lot of people that actually want to do something. They want to be heard. They want to be seen. Just gotta harness that now.
Yeah. Is there any artists that you done heard in the city like they dope?
This guy, you know what I'm saying? Gotta shout out P-Way Bug. Beside him and not being biased, definitely Mook Thug is a guy that I always say is, I have a list. I hate to say that because everybody, if I say something wrong or whatever, but Mook Thug is dope. I like what PS Game, Prime Suspects. I was saying that off camera and not just because we here, but that's the song we was even playing. Money M is Cold Cash older brother, so he one of the ones that can say, telling his story, I remember seeing this and seeing this, and I'm hopeful to fit in his narrative somewhere just to be able to say, so within mine, I'm saying that I recognize the ones that paved the way, but also the ones now. I like, who did I just say the other day? Some of his homeboys, you know, Trap Black, I like him. T Boss, I think he dope. Fink, you know, Fink does his thing, and it's a reason why he has a recognizable name because he actually, you know, he made a dent. But then it's also some people that's Sir Dizzle, which is shared in ears. He rap, sing, produce, spoken word. He dope. Ariana Pitts, who goes by Ayla Faye. Trellion Trail, a very thought-provoking. I think he like Dave East or something. Like he a mixture of, you know, man. Trail be he in that
Trail,
he
though,
he got that edge, and he also got that. Boom, it ain't conscious. It's you know he read.
You got layers to it.
Yeah, layers and some intellect. You know what I'm saying? So I like him. Man, I can go on with. I think I'm leaving somebody already though, man. I need. Don texted me too and asked me, was I still here? Let me say, yeah, I'm here, man.
Man, so
Low key a little bit.
But shouts
ago, he
out to
posted a
all.
list. He do got a Spotify list. I can testify too that he posted on Facebook.
Yeah.
It's got names on there.
Yeah.
So we know he do rock with the locals.
No, yeah, for real. Viggy
The support
Versace,
is
matter of
real.
fact, that's another one that I had to reach out personally and say, man, I see you. And sometimes all we gotta do too. Yeah.
So it's been a lot of verses talk in the city. You know what I'm saying? People going song for song with other artists. You been hearing any of that talk, man? What you think about that?
Yeah, I done heard some type his address.
My name got through in there a couple times, man. What you think? What you think about the versus situation?
Yeah, I didn't it came up a few times, and early on I was so hyped up. I'm so competitive. I instantly was like, oh yeah, throw me in the ring. But the more I look at it, I wouldn't do it right now, but I want to see it. I want to support it. I want to see it. I think
it's just an
it'll be
all
good
love
for the
thing.
culture.
Yeah.
It'll be real powerful for the culture.
So right now we got one lined up. We got Viggy and Jern lined up.
Yeah,
so
I'll
make
be
sure y'all
there.
tune in for the flyer, Viggy and Jern. So who you got in that versus, man? Who you got in the Viggy and Jern versus?
Viggy.
You see the contract?
Yeah, Viggy. That's like
Okay.
yeah, like that's yeah.
Couple other names, I mean, a couple different names been getting thrown out there. Like your name got through out there against Mike Stees.
Wow. Yeah. That's bro. That's deep.
You know what I'm saying? So, and then we got the young dogs. We the name of Tay Bull and Cheddar Bill's name got through out against each other for the young dogs.
Oh yeah.
What you think about that?
That'd be a nice one.
Nice one.
Cause Cheddar Bills, he buzzing right now, yeah. But Bull nice. Bull nice for sure.
Yeah, we like to hear it though.
Is Bill's catalog long enough?
Bull got catalog.
No, not take Bulls.
Like you
Bills?
said,
Bills.
Bill's got some,
But I'm-
Bill's got tracks.
Okay, so this is what I want to ask though. So some of the matchups sound right, but and I'm gonna go and pull my OG card out when I say this. Like, you would have to bring somebody like, you know, people like, with all due respect, salute to Mike Steves, but somebody like him, like him coming into his thing, I was already, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm one other people that he would even say that he would look to for some of these type of things. I think it would be dope to be on that level, because it's like, look what I did with the spark that I got from like guys like you, Prince T, and things like that, and like boom. So it, if anything, would be like a old school, new school type of thing, and that would be dope. But it like,
And it's all love. We talking about like
Yeah.
song for song artists, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They each going back and forth on songs.
but see that
and
part.
enjoying, you know what I'm saying?
But that part is where it get different. When you say song for song, then we talking about, I'm talking about when I say fuck Jay Reed, is people that can sing that shit
You know what I'm talking about?
word for word for word.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And that's going back. So it's like, we gotta,
Cause that was a round club soda days.
yeah. But I would see, I think,
That's a classic.
Man.
I don't know.
And this is all for the culture. It ain't nothing, you know what I'm
Didn't
saying?
he end up playing that song on the radio too or something like that?
No, but he ended up acknowledging that we talked. We ended up having a conversation, and I can thankfully say that everybody that I had a quote unquote little rap beef with or whatever, we've all, I think, didn't I? Yeah, everybody, everything squashed for y'all.
Cause I didn't ask a couple questions about people that had popped back up.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, like, recently I had to, because you never know, man. Hip hop a blood sport, and you can piss somebody off at the slightest moment. So, matter of
Piss
fact,
somebody
to
off
make
with a
sure,
compliment.
to make sure I ain't pissing off nobody, I ain't saying that I'm incapable of doing the verses or I'm too big to do a verses. I just wanna, I would do one. I'm not sure who I would do one with, but I would be up for, like talking about different things.
So what's one you would like to see?
I want to see the Viggy and the Viggy. I want to see that. That's hilarious to me. Like the energy for one. Let me say that. I don't mean hilarious like I'm laughing or coming to make a parody of the situation. I mean the energy of two people like that is exactly why I said blood sport. It's like, I would love to see that. Yeah, because that's like,
It ain't already-
that ain't,
That's pay-per-view.
that ain't politically
Boy.
correct.
That's
I
pay-per-view.
feel how I feel. I said it. Bleep it out then if you don't, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I love that type of energy. So it's like, yeah, bring all that. So I want to see it. That's the
dope.
one I'm anxious
Be on the
to see.
lookout. Viggy and Jer versus. It is happening on the podcast, Smoke Session with Squirrel.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Okay,
So-
we got a question here. They ask why you feel like rappers can't come together at Kalamazoo and build for the better, like how you was just giving the game you was giving to everybody.
It's on its way. So one of the things to answer that, I don't want to go too deep, but so the culture of Kalamazoo, there's a reason why, like the Ku Klux Klan has been able to come here and assemble and talk like 3 different times. And I ain't even born and raised here and I didn't see that shit. And it's like, that says something. And when you go as far back as like, I just learned this from my homeboy, they used to have a Green Book. Y'all know about that movie where this was something that black people put out to let you know where it was safe to get a hotel, gas, and not get lynched or something like that. Well, they had a Michigan version, and my homeboy Kev just told me it's on display at the Ford Museum. He said Kalamazoo ain't in there. So this wasn't even a safe place for our peoples back in the day. So we still adjusting to a lot of different things, in my opinion. That's just my humble opinion, and that plays into the music where everybody wants to be the one to be the one to put it on. So I don't want to collaborate as much. I want to be the one, and then I'll come back and share with you
Instead of making it together.
instead of making it together, really. You know what I'm saying? So we deal with a lot of that. And that's that crabs in the barrel mentality. Sadly, if you say that phrase to like white people who don't really understand black culture, that's a phrase that they aren't familiar with. That blows my mind that there's certain people that don't even know what crabs in a barrel mean when you say it. You know what I mean? So when I think that's one of the reasons. But we breaking that. We got a compilation that's dropping. It's coming out February. We got some of the who's who from Kalamazoo, Viggy on there, Cheddar Bills on there, P-Way Bug on there, I'm on there, Fink, Darbolo, name some of the people on there, T-Boss, Trap Black,
What's the name of the project?
Levels. Yeah. Yeah.
So it ain't all about music with Ed Jam, man. We see you all over the community and stuff. You're a leader for the community, mentoring youth. Tell us a little bit about that.
Appreciate it. Okay, so I grew up going back to Gary. You gotta say that. So what are you talking about? Okay, my fault. So yeah, I care about the community in which I live in. That was something I had to go back to as far as mind state. Because sometimes if we all just started throwing our trash on top of this table and every time we met, this was the place to empty your pockets, it's like, and nobody ever asks, well, what we gonna do with it? It's just keep doing that. Then, yeah, that's why I like doing stuff for the community. It was just a question of what happens with all this trash, and then you hear the older people say, what you think happened with it? Like, yeah, and y'all, if you keep doing this, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, thank you for finally getting to the point that you want to know. And then it just goes back to, I lifted up Gary, Indiana, because when I talked about the quote-unquote so-called gangs, I got to say that to the young guys that represent whatever they represent, click together and come up with these different things. This is exactly what happened in the 60s. And out of that was the first organization in the Midwest was called Conservative Vice Lords. And these are where organizations like GD, which I no longer say Gangster Disciples because they go by growth and development, and I respect that. Black Peace Stones, a lot of them are now L. Wilkins, but you still have a lot of Black Peace Stones. So people like Larry Hoover, Jeff Ford, Benny Lee, even Willie Lloyd, who kept the movement going for the time that he did. in the 60s, these organizations were made to uplift and help the community in the Lawndale area in Illinois. They were circumvented by government and by people who don't want to see right. And so what we got out of that was gangs and gang banging. And gangs is just any group of people. We go stand outside and hang together, we consider it a gang. You know, it's a gang of black guys just hanging. But an organization came with laws, literature, principles, and things like that in a way to conduct yourself. And one of the things you had to do was protect the community in which you live. And I had to throw that in there because for the new generation is representing and doing whatever you're doing, I say do it. Don't glorify violence. Don't harm the kids and no women. And but do what you got to do to maintain and be able to survive, but also develop the organizational aspect of it. And I'm fully with that. That's why I'm fully for the community. And
That's what's up.
Yeah.
We be seeing that. I be seeing it all over everything. You know what I'm saying? You always working with the community and doing different stuff. The NAACP and everything.
Everything. Yeah, I'm a member. I got a card. Yeah, say Ed Genesis on there too. Yeah, I'm a NAACP. I mentor, was speaking for the youth, make sure they don't fall through no traps and stuff like that. Blocks, clubs, we fought to get the street signs taken down on the north side, which had been there for 20 plus years, which was used to stop and frisk and some other bullshit. And this is all just learning. Just learning what equity was one day was like, hold on, just raising my hand and say, you mean to tell me I should be able to park on the north side? Because I can't. And some people said, yeah. And there we go. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, where we at?
So
Y'all asked some good questions.
with doing that, I know you real big with the NAACP and stuff. How dope was it for you to visit Idlewild?
Yeah, that was dope. So that was through an organization called We the People, and they was doing this training and it was my first time ever going. I thought Idlewild was a fictional place after watching
The movie.
Outcast.
A lot of people do not know that it's in Michigan.
Yeah, in Michigan, historical black, the first black resort in America. And you want to hear tragedy? So here we go, going back to like the rappers, and somebody asks a question, like, so watch this, right? Before they lifted segregation, Idlewild was a place you can go look. They got a club called the Flamingo, which is right across, the Flamingo Lounge, I believe, right across the street from the beach. And if you read the plaque, it says like the Four Tops, Charlie Wilson, not Charlie Wilson, Charlie, guy that died on stage, Mr. Entertainer. It'll come to me later on. Lonely Teardrops. That's way before all our time, but he dope though. But anyway, a lot of people, Jackie Wilson, forgive me y'all, Jackie Wilson. A lot of people own property there, live there, whatever. They desegregated America and say you can now party in these clubs with the white people. The clubs that you were left out of that you couldn't, and they abandoned property, sold their property, never went back there again, and it's been like so it was dope to be there because it felt like we're working on something this spring where we're gonna take some young black men. I told him, you gotta see it and experience it. We're gonna try to spend a weekend down there and have like a black men retreat and talk. But then also, like the natives will tell you, there was an older black woman there. She said, I don't understand why every year people go all the way to South Haven to their beach and nobody come down here. She said, but the white people, they do. She said, they come at the beach all the time. It's beautiful. So our ancestors, people knew about it in Baldwin and that area and things like that. But there's a lot of people such as myself, and it's a straight shot, like just a little less than 2 hours is room. So many of us don't know about it, but it looks like you went through a time warp when you go. Like it's like down south or something, but it's right there in Michigan. and we should go down there. Idlewild, Michigan.
Headed weird.
Huh? Say it again.
Headed weird. Like if I was to set out right now, where would I be?
I ain't good with the map.
Like I said,
think
out towards Baldwin area and stuff like that. Like
Toward Detroit? Detroit and shit?
up north toward
Okay.
type area.
I would have to Google it.
Yeah.
I know I-94 West.
A lot of people don't know
I-94
Idlewild. They just know
Idlewild.
Idlewild of the actual movie, and they think the movie was based down south when really it was based in Michigan.
Yeah.
I got to meet the actual author of the book, Dr. Lewis Walker, and that was that's how I actually learned the history of the whole thing. So that was real crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can ask you anything about that, but
I can sound one. Yeah,
yeah. So you know,
well, that's about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep moving. Yeah, so are you doing any features right now? If anybody's looking to get a feature from Ed Gym right now?
Yeah, and they better hurry up. Matter of fact, I'm glad you just said that because I got something that's finna do something that I can't say all the way, but after February, yup, I am. And please get in. I
How can
love
they
to
tap
work
in
with.
you to get them features?
Hit me on. I hate Messenger, but hit me on Messenger because I ain't giving out no other ways right now. Hit me on Messenger. I'm down to collaborate. Let's really work. Do something that's really gonna do something, and something that we can make some movements out of. I like doing that.
All right. Any other questions?
No. I don't know.
Take a second. I'm gonna shout out my sponsors. Shout out Apple Sky Farms. They lacing us with the good edibles, keep you medicated. Got THC lean, the Trips Ahoy, all kind of good stuff. So tap in.
I want to say something. If I can, y'all ain't gotta ask me. I can say it. Can I say it?
Whatever you want.
All right. So I gotta say, first of all, Supreme Levels Music Group. Shout out to my business partner Don Trees, the manager. We got together last year and flew out to Arizona, did some behind the scenes things, started the LLC, really took it serious as far as what we gonna be able to do to be able to help artists, not just put out a compilation and just blanketly throw it out there, but like really talking about publishing, talking about copyrights, ways that you can get your money and start your independent grind now. So I want to make sure I say that. And then also just OG status, what's a blessing for me, and my son just reminded me was February, I'll be teaching a class at KBCC on hip hop through social justice through a hip hop lens.
Okay.
And it's a curriculum that I developed and came up with, and it's what really goes on, you know, especially for the
So we
young
talking
black
about
men. and
Professor
what they
Ed
have.
G.
Yeah, it'll be like that soon. Not right away, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna start off with a couple little things, but I'm proud of that because it's time, it's beyond time that the society around us start to understand our culture, what we saying. It might come across a little abstract, a little wrong sometimes, but what it is what it is, you know. So that's how I feel.
All right.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I said that. Just brought him up a minute ago.
But say the man coming through the door.
Yeah.
That man been behind, low key behind a lot of Kalamazoo music for a long time. That man been around.
Yeah,
Definitely glad you came on the show, man.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Episode 23.
You got something coming up.
Oh, yeah,
We got-
talk about that again.
We got the next Saturday. We got the show at the Black Arts and Cultural Center. It's
Drop
more
the
than a
date.
show. It's a statement. It's January 15th, Saturday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. It's a call to action. We playing off the MLK, and we we, you know, me and bro, we was talking about it down, who just walked in, about moving like kings, and there's so many people, like we talked about earlier, this is a hustling city. You know, people like nice things and like doing big things, so we gotta take that mentality along with the fact that you don't throw your Patron box out the window because somebody's grandmama, somebody auntie live right there, or somebody's sister just bought that new house and she wanna live on the north side or she wanna live on the south side, but she don't wanna be ducking on the floor and shit like that. We trying to ask that specifically, and we asking that everybody move like the ancestors did, and what I mean by that is like going back to like the Idlewild, but we asking specifically that the black men move like kings. Yeah. And not necessarily Martin Luther King, but like what we talked about earlier, our birthright. Yeah.
Leaders.
Yeah.
Hey, I thought I was done, but I know a lot of people probably want to know this, and I probably wouldn't be shit if I ain't asked. Where the toothpick come from, man? Real shit.
Always
But
forever.
because
Yeah.
as long as I've known you,
Yeah.
even as a young dog, like
Yeah.
you always had it. You know what I'm saying? So, gotta be a story behind it. Gotta be something.
Well, yeah, it ain't even as cool as people think sometimes. It's really, well, I have, like, I bite on my lips and the side of my thumbs. Like, if I didn't have a toothpick, I'd be biting on something, ink pen top, something like that. But what happened when I was young, the cool black guys in my area, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying black because I ain't never seen nobody else do it. Not to say nobody else does, but the brothers, you know what I'm saying? Like my uncles, a couple older cousins, stuff like that. When they played cards, they would have that toothpick. And I was like, man, that looks so cool. But to have one of them type of habits, like, I don't want to call it a nervous habit or whatever, but whatever make you bite on your nails and all that shit. Like, to have that, but then put a toothpick in your mouth, it was just like a ding, 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 and I ain't been able to get rid of it.
Okay.
So that's what that is. Yeah, it just happened to look cool. That's all. That's all. But
It's
it's
crazy he don't know where his toothpick case at.
Oh yeah, it's a problem if I ain't got my toothpick.
Oh,
That's a
man.
definite problem.
Well, shit, man. It's your boy Squirrel, man. It's episode 23. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Smoke Session with Squirrel.
I ain't your whole time home with
Hold
you,
on.
Project Player.
Y'all, hold on. Y'all, because y'all asked me something, but you said the toothpicks. You said the event, but I gotta mention again the compilation.
Yeah.
Not just collaborations, because I do that, but y'all submit something for the where we at. Submit something for the compilation, man. And if you don't make it on this one, we coming back with volume 2. It's levels. It's we dropping in. We looking. We finishing up some things, so we looking at All-Star Weekend, which is next month. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And yeah, anything, like, cause you here, anything I should be adding. I think I hit.
You probably touched on everything. Pretty sure.
Boy, been nudging me and making sure. Yeah,
22nd.
the 22nd. The basketball game at the Douglas, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Yeah, y'all come check that out. Stop the Violence. We doing something during the wintertime. Shouts out to Bill Play, Sam. Shouts out to Urban League, Youth Development, and this how we've been coming together and just trying to do things like that. So thank you for that, y'all. That's the 22nd of this month. So we got the 15th. Then we doing something at Western. We have a table during the Martin Luther King thing at the 17th. Just information-wise and making sure if y'all see any of these, man, know your rights. You know what I'm saying? Know that in the state of Michigan, you only got to roll down your window that far to pass down your information, to pass out your information, and that reduces a lot of police contact or them saying that they smelled something because they quick to say that. Protect yourself. And there's a lot of other little things in here. So if you see us out, we'll be passing these out as well. That's just so you know some more community things. And my fault for taking it that much
you
longer.
good,
but
man.
I
You good,
want
you
to
good.
make sure we-
Shit, know your rights, goddammit.
Yeah.
Shit, straight up.
See how quick I slid by you? Like, let me get that. I need that in my
Yeah,
life.
make sure we threw that in. So yeah, Supreme Lovers Music Group. Shouts out to all of the sides of towns and everybody doing something within the city, and all of the rappers, like all of y'all that's doing something, you know, do the verses and get some of them producers to verse one another or something, you know. But I'm down with the culture. I support the culture. I appreciate y'all having me on this
Definitely.
platform. You know, we've been rocking for
Long
a
time.
grip, so thank you. Yeah. Salute to the real. You already know what the rest of it is.
It's your boy Squirrel, man. Smoke Session with Squirrels, episode 23. We gone.
That was all right, y'all.